Bonjour, and welcome to the Amateur Detective Club. This club is exactly how it sounds. A bunch of amateurs talking about their favorite mysteries. So if you encounter a real mystery or a murder, contact the proper authorities. Do not come to us. We do not know what we are doing. But enjoy the program. Allons-y, let us begin.
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose.
I hereby call to order this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club. I am Miles Neuvirth, boy detective.
I am Melissa Meli, the spy.
And I'm Tristan Miller, and I'm here to say I hate the name Kid Cop.
In a major
That's
way.
what I'm here to say. That's the only thing I'm going to leave now.
All right.
I'm vanishing.
All right. We're down a member this week, but enrollment's open, so add us on Twitter. Actually, don't add us on Twitter to join our club, but do add us on Twitter. We just like hearing from you guys.
What one are we doing?
We're doing so this meeting is more rambling than usual because I called it to order. We're going to be discussing the next short story in Poirot Investigates, which is the Million Dollar Bond Robbery.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bonds.
No,
finances.
Mr. Bonds, I expect you to be a million.
I believe the Secretary of Setting is Melissa Meli this week. Would you like to begin giving us the setting of the case?
So we start off with this. We read this one on, we listened to this one, read it on the Audible version of Poirot Investigates with David Suchet narrating beautifully, as per usual. So it starts off with Hastings and Poirot hanging out, talking about ocean liners and what a whole lot of bond robberies there have been lately. Like, that's
Convenient.
how it opens, yes.
Yep.
And then their landlady comes in and announces that a lady named Esme Farquhar is come to see them. And she comes in and says that her fiancé, Mr. Philip Ridgway, was overseeing these bonds when they were stolen on the ocean liner, the Olympia. And they describe her as having... Well, Hastings describes her as having a perfect figure, and that's the limit to how thirsty he is in this one.
I do want to say, one, nice stealing a name from Shrek.
Yes, that's
Agatha
that's
Christie,
they stole.
well done, you stole it from Shrek.
She did,
And also,
she did.
Philip Ridgway does sound a little bit like a brand of Jimmy Cap. All right, that's all
No.
I have to say on those.
I will say my favorite moment in all of David Suchet's performances is he goes, I'm Mr. Philip Ridgway.
Oh, yes.
That's what he does. It's
Philip
wonderful.
Ridgway. It's delightful.
Which would be how the commercial announcer says it in the commercial for the Jimmy Caps.
For the what?
Jimmy Caps?
What is that?
It's a condom. It's a cap for your Jimmy, friend.
Oh! This is a whole...
This is our first Amateur Detective Club's murder. I've murdered Tristan.
Uh-oh. We're down one.
No, it's fine.
Again.
Use a condom. It's good. It's just Jimmy Cap sounds terrible.
Yes. Yeah, but I thought it would be more like
English.
undercover. Also, apparently a little too undercover.
Yeah.
All right.
Obscure, esoteric, maybe.
All right. So I will talk about the crime next, and then you'll get out the suspects.
Fine.
The crime. When Miss Farquaad comes into Esmeralda Farquaad? Yeah.
Esme.
When she comes in, she's like, oh, what a quinky dink. I need you to figure out who stole some bonds, because it's my husband. They get on the case and they start figuring things out pretty quick. One, the parcel was given to young Ridgway. He put it in a safe. Someone from the bank commissioned extra good locks to be put on the safe. It was all loaded up onto the
Extra
plane,
good
and then
locks.
I'm sorry. The brand name of the lock being extra good.
Yes,
extra good locks.
with capital
Some of those
letters.
extra good locks. Yeah. Yeah.
Capital E, capital L.
Yeah. But someone breaks into the safe, so it becomes clear right away when the man gets back to his room before they leave the plane that that someone's tried to pry the lock open, and then they got it open somehow, even though it was extra good. And the parcel is missing, so the bonds have been stolen off of the plane. And when they land, there's cases of those bonds being sold in New York, where they were going, pretty much immediately after they landed, and one case of someone claiming that he was sold one of the bonds before they had landed, but everyone writes that off as he didn't know what time it was.
I just do want to make one thing clear that we're talking about a boat, yes? Not a plane?
Right. In my head, it was a blimp. I don't know why. It's super definitely a boat.
Yeah, it's an ocean liner.
It's super definitely a boat, but the whole time I was listening to it, I pictured a blimp.
I think you like Tintin a little too much.
Yeah,
my friend.
so
That's excellent.
so that's my in my version of the story.
It's a plane.
There's airships, because in my version of every story, there's airships.
Sure.
Airship appearance.
So tweet at us. What kind of vehicle did you mistakenly think they were riding?
Miles, weren't you just literally on a cruise ship? Like,
yes. And my bonds were stolen. Oh no!
And it was in the sky. That's why he got
It
confused.
was a sky cruise.
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited for Elon Musk to finally invent space cruises. I'm gonna ride every single space cruise liner when Elon Musk invents those space cruises.
So there's about 4 suspects. They are Mr. Ridgway, Esme Farquaad, and I can't remember their names, but
Bankman, yeah.
the 2 bank people.
so it's his uncle.
Niece.
It's
right,
Ridgway's
yeah.
uncle, Mr.
Yeah.
Vavasor, and motion to call him Mr. Bulbasaur for the rest of the episode.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Farquaad and Bulbasaur.
Motion passes.
Excellent. And Mr. Shore. Mr. Bulbasaur
Sure.
is the uncle. And Mr. Shore was like very ill with bronchitis, and he's an old man and all that jazz. So, you know.
And those are the
Bankman.
suspects.
Yeah.
Or a random dude.
Also, though,
It could be a random dude. Like, it could be
That's fair.
someone
Could
else
be.
on the boat.
Just a very good thief who goes from boat to boat.
but also I want to point out, there's a restaurant they go to called the Cheshire Cheese,
Yes.
which is the best.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
I
Let's
assume
open
that they
up a
just have a lot of cheese. Yeah? Like,
I'm gonna
just the
look.
most
I'm clicking
cheese.
the Wikipedia right now.
On the cruise ship that I was on,
It's a real place.
every night for dinner I just got a cheese plate because it was an option. And
Nice.
everyone made fun of me because it's not a dessert. But
Chuck
I'm like,
Dickens,
It's better than a dessert.
G.K. Chesterton, and Mark Twain all went there. It's
yeah.
a real pub.
Oh my god. Guys, field trip, huh?
Field trip, yeah.
Guys, donate to our
Funner Indiegogo.
There's
Patreon.
another one. There's another Cheshire Cheese. There's the ye old Cheshire Cheese, which is the one she's referring to, and then there's just the Cheshire Cheese
Uh-huh.
We got to do a compare and contrast
in
episode.
London.
All right,
Okay,
guys,
so we're going to London now. Give it to our Patreon.
Yeah, donate to our Patreon so we can go to to
Yeah,
this pub.
absolutely.
Excellent.
In London, yes.
Yeah. Just to go to a public house. What? No. What do you...
So the deal
Could
was...
you imagine if we did go to London and we like visited Agatha Christie's like grave site, I assume, and like just are doing selfies? That'd be so bad, right?
It would be
worst.
actually the best thing
terrible.
ever.
That's where we
I
do
would love it
that's
so
where we do a
much.
film shoot of the 3 of us on each other's shoulders in a trench coat.
Oh my god, I want this to happen so much.
Okay, so back to
yeah.
the plot.
So Poirot and Hastings, I guess, go to hang out with the bankman to be like, hey, so
Bulbasaur.
yes, so what's going on? Why do we is there anything that we know about this? Because the case was locked in front of these dudes, and the only people who had keys were Mr. Bulbasaur, Mr. Shore, and Mr. Ridgway. And the thing was,
You got me.
the thing with the crime was what happened was it wasn't just like it was tampered with, but then it was very clearly like unlocked. They didn't like jimmy it open. Someone unlocked it, and Ridgway had the key on him.
Jimmy cap it open.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna croissant this until it opens.
There you go. There's your one.
Yep.
So yeah,
I'm probably gonna cut that all out.
We can. But Ridgway had the key on him the whole entire time. So what gives? So Poirot's like, you know what? I know what happened. I know exactly what happened, but let's just hang out for a couple days, and I want to confirm something. He waits for a ship to come in. They just like sit back, and Hastings is like, well, if you know who did it, then why don't you say anything? He waits for a ship to come in to confirm that there was a person on board named that was like an invalid. I think something I was a little fuzzy on.
An invalid with glasses.
Yes, dark glasses, I think.
And Hastings is like, well, did he leave the boat terribly quickly? And they're like, no.
Yeah. So Hastings is like, well, then it couldn't have. What's the deal? You just totally bunked your theory. But Poirot's like, no. You will see. So it turns out that Poirot has figured out that there are identical trunks. 2 identical trunks, one with the bonds and one without the bonds, had been swapped after, of course, they had been locked in front of the dudes, but before they got on the ship. So the bonds were never actually in the case. Like, they were never there, but they staged the robbery to make it look like, they had been robbed so that the bankmen weren't under suspicion because, of course, our invalid next door, who had been taken with bronchitis, was Mr. Shore. Mr. Shore the whole time.
Now, I want to say what's really impressive about the scene where they go and talk to the bankmen is that, like, Poirot does some excellent investigating despite the fact that the only response he gets is, Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
It's like, where were you on the night of the Bulbasaur? Well, my friend, Bulbasaur. I cannot work this way, Hastings. We must leave.
And he got it from that.
Amazing. which is really weird.
It's a little anachronistic, if you ask me.
But I do think it was really well done too. It's fascinating.
Super good detective
though
work.
Mr. Bulbasaur, the banker Bulbasaur, is gonna be my next cosplay. So
it's like just a Bulbasaur in a bow tie with like those little armbands.
Tiny glasses.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Someone draw that for us, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Oh my god,
in
please
a trench
draw
coat, stacked on top of a Charmander and a Squirtle. Okay.
Am I a Charmander or the Squirtle?
I think you
You're
are
the
a
Charmander.
Charmander.
Yeah.
And his fake mustache is made out of fire.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's very cute.
Yeah.
Does that make me the Squirtle?
Yes.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah, so like as soon as they're talking, I'm like, there's no way the bonds ever were on this plane, right?
This
like,
plane?
Dang it again. There's no way the bonds were ever on this boat. They even say they threw it overboard. Like, he threw the package overboard even though there was
Let me
nothing
just
in it.
open this window on a plane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-listen to this entire thing and imagine it on a blimp. Like in Miles' mind.
It's better that way.
The humanity.
Anytime there's a boat in a book, I just picture it's a blimp, and my life's more magical for
Titanic must have been very confusing for you.
It's a tall iceberg, man.
Wow. And only 10% of
Great.
that is above water.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like as soon as and then they're like, oh, one guy claims it was sold beforehand, and I'm like, yep, that's because they were never on that boat. Like,
Nope.
like if that fact didn't matter, they wouldn't have put it in the book. So,
Very important.
yeah.
Important.
God,
So-
it's such a shame that everyone misses in this audio medium the very good gesturing that we all do while we record.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's
It's all right.
very
Someday
purposeful.
we'll do a live video for our Patreon followers.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
Tristan's mustache twirling Everyone's missing that mustache twirling. He's working on it.
It's true, I am doing that.
The shot of my nose.
Oh, I can finally see Miles again. It was just the ceiling for a bit.
Yeah.
So how many mustaches?
This one was fun, and it was super short, so it was easy. I want to say like 3 out of 5.
I gotta say, this is like the thirstiest that Hastings has ever been, and then the most smug Poirot has ever been.
That's fair.
It's at their
peak. This has a really good quote too. When Hastings is like, just tell us who did it, and he's like, I can't because I know who did it, but I need to find proof for people who do not have brains as good as mine. And he says,
that exact
one
quote.
must make considerations for those less gifted than themselves, or something like that. And I'm like, that's a great quote, and it's awesome.
And then also he goes, I am cursed with the gift of success or something like that. And he goes,
like, I must say, Hastings, sometimes it appears that you do actually detest me.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's because of that interaction, I'm gonna bump it up to 4 out of 5. Actually,
Yes.
I'd say
3.5.
Good.
3.5. It's good. It's fun. It's not like, the time that he staged a ghost scene.
that's the best.
Nor was it the
That's
murder
the
Roger
measure,
Ackroyd.
the stick with to which we measure all of the. Look at this excellent golden stick that we have here in the studio.
Did we get an impromptu spooky ghost haunted house? Oh man,
3 out of 5 as well for me. Very good, very solid. Also very short, so it's as good as it is long, which is a rare thing for a book to be.
Yeah, which is nice.
True.
Yeah.
It was just the right length.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well then, I've been Miles Neuvirth, boy detective.
And I've been Melissa Meli, the spy.
I have been, always will be, and continue to be in this moment that you are listening to now, the Kid Cop!
This meeting of the Amateur Detective Club is adjourned.
J'accuse!
Gavel sound.
C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, la joué pour la fille. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur